Hello everyone, and we are going to be doing the HTML and CSS at Codecademy, Sorting Your Friends segment. I have already done this, but by request, someone would like to get some help, so I'll see if this video can be of use. I have already answered these questions, but I'll retype it and show you what I've done. Section 1 of 8, what you'll be building. Taking advantage of CSS powerful class and ID selectors to visually separate different classes of HTML elements. That's all great. That's not too instructive. Once upon a time in HTML, you used to take individual items and give them all the attributes of the type of color and border that you wanted. But a key principle of computer science is never to have to repeat yourself. So if you're going to want to have 4 or 5 different objects all have the same attributes, like a perimeter that is blue and dotted versus being solid, this is why CSS is developed using class and IDs. What may be confusing for Codecademy is that you've, up to this point, mostly worked with only one tab where you're putting in code. That's the index.html here. In this exercise, you will also be using the style sheet, which is this second tab. And so we'll walk through that as we go through. Way to go! Starting next lesson. Dividing and conquering. To start, we need some divs. Divs are short for division, little sections of work that you're going to be putting to show up in the resulting HTML. Again, here's the index, here's the style sheet, as developed so far. I have created at least 3 divs in the HTML tab. You can always do this by either writing things out, and it's got a nice code editor that will close bracket something like div that needs it. You can always copy, Control C in Windows, and paste, which I've done here. But we don't need that, so I will eliminate it. Save and submit code. Way to go. We're going to style the divs. This is where some people may be getting lost. The instructions are to give the divs a makeover on the CSS tab. This is the stylesheet.css tab, not just some miscellaneous CSS tab somewhere else in your program. So we'll click over to that. Give them a height and width of 100 pixels. This is what is done here on line 6 and line 7. In general, the order is not too important. You could have put this at the bottom, at the top. They're not conflicting with any of the other key value pairs here, where display is inline block. You could have put these on the top. Border radius, 100%. Border, 2 pixels wide. Note a couple of things. You want to keep your indentation consistent. And with any type of JavaScript object, note and make sure you have the semicolon at the end of each of these elements. I hope that answers those questions. Save and submit code. We're good to go. Now we're going to add our classes. Friend, family, and enemy. I've already done that. You write this in where this had been div close bracket. You put it right here. Nothing has to be done for the close div tag. Title, we've also changed to My Social Network. Title is what shows up at the top of a web page to give users a better indication of what's happening. In this case, for this page, the title is Sorting Your Friends. I've added the class Sensei, or they did. I forgot when I did it. Way to go. Start next lesson. Give the member of your friend class a border that's 2 pixels dashed, and so forth. This is the hexadecimal notation. Here again, switch to stylesheet.css. For the friend class, we're going to need to add our CSS below, and that is something I will need to do by creating classes. For class notation, you just do that. Dot friend class border equals 2 pix dashed dash 008. And you can see that changing live here. In the HTML, for the first circle, div class equals friend. You can see when the stylesheet.css changed the .friend class, you see this change. Incidentally, you don't always need to use hexadecimal, although, and I've just written in green there, but for purposes of ease, I will stick with this. I'm going to do the family class. Same deal. Border, colon, no space, 2 pics, dashed, 0, ff. Enemy class, border, equals, 2 pics, dashed. You'll find, by the way, the protocol at other places like Udacity is to not have capital letters. They would rather see you have lowercase ff. And I will do that and see if it submits. It does, starting the next lesson. Now we're going to create 2 IDs. What's the difference between an ID and a class? IDs trump class. That is, when there is something in an ID that conflicts with the class, the page will render what is the information in the ID, not the information that's in the class. In fact, you could pretty much get rid of, in this coding example, the class IDs where they have an ID, with the class identification when there is an ID there as well. In this case, class friend, best friend. I could actually delete this if I wanted. And you see that change. Bring the friend class back. Because we have, not changing yet because we have yet to actually add in the ID class. So, should I put in something like ID best friend? No. That would indicate that it's a class. I need this. Oh, it doesn't want me to do this yet in the instructions. Sorry. So we'll keep on going. Save and submit code. We're going to do this in the next lesson. Separate CSS style into best friend and the arch nemesis ID, so we can quickly pick them out from our regular friends and enemies. You'll see again, that is happening on the stylesheet.css, and I've already done it here in lines 23 to 25 and 26 through 28. You see best friend and arch nemesis. Going back to index.html, I'll do what I was intending previously. You can see the class friend ID best friend, which is this very first circle, friend and best friend. I can get rid of the class. It doesn't change anything. Of course, class and ID could be affecting different things, and you want to keep it in there. Save and submit code. We're good to go. Start next lesson. This looks a little bit messy, and I've added sensei, or maybe they did sensei. Same deal here. Each of these circles now, the inline attribute, because this picture is so big, it is overriding everything. I will actually just comment this out for now. Oops. Here's my friend, best friend Ethan, family Erica, my arch nemesis Hillary. You can see how that works. But you can add things like pictures. You can add other things by changing anything here. If I want to change my family border, in this case it's Erica, you can see that I will change from dashed to solid, and you see that the Erica change has reflected accordingly. So this way, if I had multiple family members, in this case, div class family, Gigi, you can see by having a CSS, I don't need to rewrite the rules and type in stuff for Gigi again. It's just here in stylesheet.css. If I want to change what the family looks like and then go back to dashed and make the color, I don't know, yellow, and the pick 20, you can see how it gets rendered. That's not particularly fetching, but you get the point. We'll go back to blue. Save and submit code. I think we're done. I hope that's helpful and answer the questions. If not, please ask me in the comments and I'll try to get back to you.